Howdy, this is Ron Thomason talking a little bit about emceeing for a band. In my opinion, the most important thing you're ever going to do if you start a band is to work on your MC work. Every band I know of that gets started, they can all pick and they can all sing and they're worried about that, and they'll even sit around and practice. But they never practice their MC work, which is a big mistake, and so if you don't practice it, it's no good. In my opinion, there are many things that you'd want to avoid, and the first is never demean people. Never demean anybody in the band. Never even demean yourself, and never demean people in the audience. Anyway, I had to tell you this. So we're backstage with Doc Watson, and he said we had recorded one of his songs, and you can only imagine how this fills somebody's heart, because Doc said he liked our version better than his version. And I thought, we'd been trying to do his version as best we can. And didn't know it wasn't as good. But anyways, I had to tell you this. So the next act we were on, and we came out on stage, and we looked over at the VIP section, and there was only one person sitting there, and it was Doc Watson. That fills your heart with, so Doc had done so many good songs, and this is just one of them.
The requirement for an MC in a band in this day and age, but actually any time, is to tell the truth and be yourself. Because John Hartford used to say the audience can spot a phony from the back row of Carnegie Hall, and once you lose them, you won't get them back. So just be yourself, and you can have something memorized, but it's going to sound memorized. So just like this interview, I really don't have anything written out, but I know where I am and I know where I want to be.
You know, these tunes and songs we do, it's more than just words, and it's more than just songs. I think about the folks we learned from, and I cannot play this song, Cherry River Line, without thinking of Lester and Linda McCumbers. They've been gone a long time. But the Cherry River Line is the temporary railroad they would build up to the top of the mountain when they were cutting timber in West Virginia. So we'll do it for you. We'll do it in memory of Lester and Linda.
Lonesome here, lonesome all the time, lonesome down here on the Cherry River Line. There's a girl.
It doesn't do any good at all to do what everybody else does. You want to have something that's your own. You want to be able to do it. I remember one time I had told John Duffy I said, John Duffy's a man that got that haircut back in 1954 and just kept it until it came back in style. And it just cracked John up, and he said, where do you get that stuff? And I said, well, I sit around all the time, mostly on a tractor, and I try to work on it so that it's mine, not anybody else's.
First thing when you get on stage is that you make sure the audience knows how happy you are to be there. When you get on stage, all band squabbles go away. you are each other's biggest fans, because the audience will see if you're having conflict. The audience sees everything. And so you just keep that in mind and speak truth and be kind, and it's gonna work out.
They've got recordings of them, and you'll hear Goldie doing the pump organ. Foomba, 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 foomba. And in the middle, she goes, wee! Whoopee! And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how I feel when I play Old Melindy with Mike Compton. Right there.
Celia's written a song, rather. I get them mixed up, C names. I can't tell these girls apart. We spend so much time together. We actually are one person. A big, giant cuddle puddle of Gray Fox love up here. The best kind of cuddle puddle.
I would also say that there's nothing you could do that's worse than introducing your band, because it demeans people. So many band MCs will introduce somebody and then they'll try to tell how good they are at something. And just think of yourself if you were in a band with Bobby Osborne. Would you introduce him and say, this is Bobby Osborne and he's a really good mandolin player and he can sing high. And if you're so bad that you have to do that kind of talk, then at least say something like, well, he can sing higher than Mount Everest. But if you really want to give it some life, say he can sing higher than K2. Give it something that's original, that's yours, that's not anybody else's. And the second thing is, it's not important to introduce the band. Elvis never introduced his band. Frank Sinatra never introduced his band. This thing that's in the Bluegrass, it's like put in concrete that you have to tell who the members of the band are. Believe me, if your band's any good, everybody in the audience is going to know who it is. I'd like to introduce the band. Did you not, as noticed suddenly as the grass divides as with a comb, a spotted shaft is seen, and then it closes at your feet and opens further on. He likes it, but I wonder why I couldn't get the two households both alike in dignity in fair Verona, where they are seen from ancient grudge break to new mutiny, where civil blood makes civil hands in hand. From forth the fatal loins of these two foes, a pair of star-crossed lovers take their lives, whose misadventured hideous overthrows do with their death bury their parents' strife. 'Twas Bruig and the slithy toes did giant gimble in the wave, all minges where the bore goes.